The rain began softly that evening, gentle, rhythmic, almost forgiving. It fell over the city like a memory too heavy to carry, washing over streets that had seen too many goodbyes. Inside a small café tucked between old brick buildings, Maya sat alone. The lights were dim, the kind that made everything light softer, almost dreamlike. She traced her finger around the rim of her coffee cup, lost in thou. She wasn't waiting for anyone. Not anymore. Once upon a time, she would have checked her phone a dozen times, glancing at the door each time it chimed. But those days were gone. The days when her world revolved around Ethan, the man who promised forever and left before it began. It had been 3 years since she'd last seen him. 3 long years of learning how to breathe without his presence, how to find peace in her own silence. The rain outside thickened. She liked the sound. It made her feel safe, like the world was pausing just long enough for her to think. Across the street, under the dim yellow glow of a street lamp, a man stood still. His coat was drenched, his hair unkempt, his expression unreadable. For a moment, Maya didn't recognize him. Then, in one breath, she did. Ethan. He hadn't changed much, still tall, still composed, but there was something in his eyes now. Something heavier. Regret, perhaps. Or maybe just time. He didn't plan to see her. He was in town for business, or at least that's what he told himself. But the city, cruel and kind as ever, led him straight to the one place he never thought he'd return to, the cafe where they'd spent countless evenings dreaming of a future that never came. Through the rain-streaked glass, he saw her. Alone. Peaceful. Unreachable. He hesitated before walking in. The bell above the door rang softly, and for a second, she looked up. Their eyes met, and the world fell silent. No greetings. No anger. Just 2 people standing in the ruins of what could have been. Ethan, she said finally. The word felt strange on her tongue, like a song she used to know but hadn't sung in years. Maya, he breathed, taking a step forward. It's been a while. 3 years, she replied. Almost to the day. He smiled faintly. You remember? How could I forget? They sat. The air between them hummed with unfinished stories. For a long time, neither spoke. The rain filled the silence, whispering everything they didn't say. Finally, Ethan broke the quiet. You look different. Maya smiled softly. I am. He studied her, how calm she was, how her eyes no longer searched his face for answers. The woman before him wasn't the one he left behind. She was stronger now, grounded, untouchable. He tried to find his voice. I wanted to reach out so many times. Then why didn't you? He looked down. I thought you'd moved on. I didn't want to open old wounds. She nodded. You already did, Ethan. You just weren't here to see it. Her tone wasn't cruel, it was tired, like someone who'd already forgiven but would never forget. He took a slow breath. I made mistakes. I thought chasing my career, my dreams, would make everything right. But every success felt hollow without you. Maya looked out the window. The rain was falling harder now. I waited, she said quietly. I waited until waiting became the only thing I knew how to do. But one day I woke up and realized love shouldn't feel like begging. Her words hit him harder than he expected. I didn't mean to hurt you, he said. Maybe not, she replied. But you did. And that's the thing about pain. It doesn't always come from bad people. Sometimes it comes from the ones who mean well but don't stay. They both fell silent again. The cafe's low music drifted through the air. Soft piano, melancholic but beautiful. Ethan's voice broke through the quiet. Do you ever think about us? About what we could have been? Maya smiled faintly. Sometimes. But then I remind myself that if it could have been, it would have been. He looked at her, his chest tightening. What if I told you I still love you? She met his eyes. Then I'd tell you, love isn't always enough. Her voice was gentle, but the truth in it was sharp. Ethan leaned back, exhaling deeply. I thought I had time, he said. Time to become someone worthy of you. Maya looked at him, eyes soft with something between pity and understanding. You did. You just spent it becoming someone else's. The words lingered like perfume. He nodded slowly, realizing she was right. For a while, they just sat there, surrounded by ghosts of their younger selves. Two people who once thought love was enough to hold the world together. Finally, Ethan whispered, "Can we start again?" Maya paused. Her eyes drifted toward the window, watching a young couple laugh under an umbrella. "I don't think we can," she said finally. "Not because I hate you. I don't. But because I've changed. The version of me who loved you doesn't exist anymore." He swallowed hard. "Then who are you now?" She smiled. "Someone who finally learned that healing isn't waiting for someone to come back. It's learning to be whole when they don't." Her words hit him like thunder, soft, but final. She rose from her seat, slipping on her coat. "Goodbye, Ethan." He stood quickly. "Maya, wait." She turned slightly, rain glimmering in her hair like tiny stars. "You said you waited," he said. "Did you ever stop loving me?" She hesitated. Her voice was quiet when she finally spoke. "I didn't stop loving you. I just started loving myself more." And with that, she walked out into the rain. Ethan stood there for a long time, watching her disappear into the crowd. The rain poured harder, but he didn't move. He realized then that sometimes love doesn't end, it just changes shape. It becomes silence, distance, memory. He returned to his hotel that night, replaying her words over and over. He wanted to hate himself, but mostly he just felt empty. In the morning, he wrote her a letter he'd never sent. Said, "You were the best thing that ever happened to me, and I learned too late that love isn't about holding on. It's about knowing when to let go." Years later, he still keeps that letter folded in his wallet. As for Maya, she found peace in her solitude. She traveled, painted, laughed again. Every so often, she'd pass by that café and smile softly at the memory. Not with pain, but gratitude. Because some stories, no matter how beautiful, aren't meant to last. They're meant to teach you how to love better next time. And on quiet nights, when the rain returned and the city felt small, she'd whisper into the silence, "You were my almost. And that's okay."